All right, everybody, back for another episode of Java with James, and continuing our team owner theme, we now have Mike Shank joining us this week. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Appreciate it, yeah.
All right, well,
Cheers,
okay.
yeah.
So the concept here is I hate coffee.
Okay.
So every time we have a guest on, we let them give their coffee order, and I just get the same thing. And I'm trying to work my way through the range of different coffees to see if there's anything in the coffee world that I like.
I think you're going to like this one.
Okay, because I don't know how many episodes of this we've done, 30 maybe? We're 0 for 30.
0 for 30.
We're 0 for 30.
You're going to be 31.
We'll see.
Maybe not.
31 might be the magic one. So what are we drinking here?
It's cold brew.
I can feel that it's cold.
Go ahead.
You're not a coffee drinker, Mike?
Nope.
All right, this is by far the best I have ever had. Not a coffee drinker?
No.
Never have been?
Never have been. This is it every morning. Every morning of my life, going to work.
This is Mountain Dew?
It is. But it's Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew.
It's always Diet. That's cheers to that, but that's a
There
good
you
call
go.
right there.
Okay, so I was wondering why everybody behind the scenes was laughing as I was going in for my first sip.
Yeah,
That's
I
because
love
they
it.
knew the thing. Well, yeah, this is one of the best ones that we've had on the show so far.
I knew it would be.
All right, so born and raised in Columbus, or were you born elsewhere?
No, on the east side. East side of Columbus.
Always out Columbus, still in Columbus.
Still out, yep. Just a little further east on a lake called Buckeye Lake, which is a
Okay.
little further east than Columbus. The shop is on the far east side of Columbus, so I'm 20 minutes from the facility we built a couple years ago. And it's been interesting, I'm definitely a Buckeye, true and tried, and love the football team, obviously, like everyone does there. But for me, it was a family thing more than anything.
Okay.
My mom was there, and I just didn't want to leave her, and we just kept building this business, and my wife's family's there. We're just all there.
Growing up, small kid in Ohio, where'd the motorsports bug come from?
My dad was in SCCA club racing for,
Okay.
I'm going to call it through the mid 70s and out into 80s.
What do you race?
They raced like Fiats.
Okay.
And MG kind of,
Yeah.
kind of cars like in a production class. There's looking back on it now that our rental car would beat it. Literally would beat it around it.
So dad was racing, so you're going to the track from a young age, you're learning how to work on the car, and at some point you're like, that looks fun, I want to try.
Yeah, the minute I was old enough to drive to where the race cars were held in Columbus, when I was 16, I started going there just to work on them. And sports fell off my freshman year because racing just took over.
Right.
And I would do anything in the world to get in a race car, whatever it took, loans, credit cards. My wife bought into this, 30 some years ago, and I used all her money, and
True love.
Yeah, she's really seen it all, and we're getting a little bit of the fruit of that labor now, all through the goods and bads.
You got pretty far in your driving career. You made it up to Atlantic, right?
No, I did one IRL race.
That's right.
I did one in
96,
97 or 8. Did Las Vegas and a Riley.
Last race of the season.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Row 15, Ohio's Mike Shank.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked.
But
I think I finished 13th or 14th, a couple laps down, but
you got there.
I did.
And you got there through your own hard work. This
We
wasn't,
did.
You didn't come from a bunch of money. You had to do it the hard way.
we really did. And I was fortunate. I had done decent in Formula Atlantic in like 96 or I can't even remember now, 6 or 7. And there was a guy that had some dough from the Midwest that said, hey, I would like to start an IRL team. And he had enough money to do all the equipment in one race, and that was the one race. And he went on to buy Rick Gallis out. If you remember Gallis.
Yeah.
After me, he fired me quickly. So, which worked out okay. It was pretty traumatic at the time. But what I didn't know, and which is really funny, is you race your whole life and you think you're pretty good. But now looking back and seeing all the talented people that we've had or been around, or I was maybe slightly above average from a pure driving standpoint.
When did MSR and Michael Shank Racing kind of become officially a real business and a real team?
In 97, we got into Toyota Atlantic. Do you remember that series? Of course.
Absolutely.
And in 98, we had Kenny Weldon. In 99, Kenny, who was a really good
Canadian guy.
Really good. And we almost won the championship, one handful of races. Then I got Sam Hornish, in his year in Atlantic before he went to RL, and Johnny Rutherford's son, John. We just started building this thing, right? And then it all kind of went to hell in 02. And I said, we're either going to do this Daytona prototype thing, because we got nothing else. And I think I can rent some seats and my wife and I will never forget the amount. It was a $520,000 loan to buy. So we put my house up Jim France helped us a little bit with SunTrust Bank, and we bought the car. And we ran them the rest of the year in 04, and we did well. And from that point forward, then the deals in Daytona Prototype, which when I really met you, it started getting there. And we went to one Daytona Prototype, and then to two, and then we had a Ford relationship, and we did some things with them, and eventually led to Honda in 2015.
The team ownership really took off in the sports car world, but did you always kind of have an eye on IndyCar? You sort of kept your finger on the pulse a bit by knowing some of the drivers.
Yeah, so yes. So I geek out around it. IndyCar, for me, IndyCar was it. Like, it wasn't NASCAR, it wasn't Formula One. Just for me, IndyCar growing up at Mid-Ohio and watching like Bobby Rahal and Rutherford and all these guys come through that place, and I was always there, knew who they were, knew their deal. It was always IndyCar. However, I couldn't figure out a path there. I tried a couple different times. A good friend of mine and I decided we're going to buy an IndyCar. So we bought a DW12, which ended up in your stable.
Okay.
Sam bought it from me.
All right.
So we tried to start this team. We really didn't have the money. We bailed on it. We lost a couple $100,000 on it. My wife was going to kill me, kill me. And we sold it, and I said, after that, I just went like this. In 2017, Justin's brother came to me, Steph, and said, I really want you to run us, and we can do it at Andretti's. And I said, we're in. Andretti has the equipment, we're going to go. Okay, this is easy. Then I got a call, a meeting. Michael Andretti wants to talk to you. We got a problem.
I know where this is going.
So it was at Long Beach, I'll never forget. He's like, you're not going to believe this. Alonso wants to run Indy. I need to move Jack out into us, to our team, and we're going to put Alonso and Jackson, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, whatever we got to do. Yeah, but it was really Steph that broke the door open for us. He kind of was, he always hustles so hard, So, but that got us going.
So then for 18, it becomes Meyer Shank Racing.
It did. Jim called me the June after that 500 that year and said, what do you think about a partner? I said, I don't want a partner. He said, why don't you come over and have lunch?
Why didn't you want a partner?
We had a couple early on, and it was okay, but it was rough getting out of those partnerships. And now we had a pretty viable business. By the way, I was just getting the NSX Honda deal, Acura Honda deal. It was my first OEM deal, right? And we were just getting that, so we were doing fine. And I want to go IndyCar racing. And he said, well, maybe we can work on some partners I have and blah, 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 and we can put this together. And we did, and the beauty of it is that Jack was out without a ride, and we said, we're going to do 6 races, and then ease into it, and then then we did 10 races. And we did this over 3 or 4 years, right? And we phased into it.
Because you partnered with Schmidt at first.
With you guys, when you were there that year, or 2 years, I think, actually. And got us going, and that worked good. And then you guys did Chevrolet, and we stayed the course with Honda. And slowly it just emerged that then we got enough money to do the full year in 20. Then we cooked up a plan to bring a second car in. And little did I know, the very first year of that second car, we'd win the Indy 500.
Yeah. Drivers talk about, and you hear stories about how winning the 500 changes a driver's life. How does it change a team owner's life?
It really puts an exclamation point on what we're capable of, legitimizes us in the weirdest way, because I'm always feeling like I have to constantly prove myself, always, to this day. That 2020 thing really, and by the way, from there on out, then we had partners that wanted to come on and be involved with Elio, and we're still involved with him trying to get that 5th win for him still today.
Well, we got some cars that are about to make some noise around us, so I'll leave you with this one last question. You worked those several years building up the IndyCar program, got it to full-time, got into that second car, won the 500 with Elio. To date, it's your only race win in IndyCar.
Yeah.
Winning that one is obviously the biggest, it's everybody's goal. You've already checked that box, but getting that second win is going to feel pretty good.
This is a problem. And it's weird, ever since we won the big race, we've struggled to get the results that we really want. Now this year we happen to be having a great run. We have tons of top 10s, a lot of top 5s, a couple podiums, but to get the win is so hard in this series. And maybe we're having a great day with the car and the driver and the team messes up the pit, or vice versa. Or it's just so hard to get all of the things lined up. And I don't have any more excuse than that. Now we have a new technical partnership with Chip Ganassi Racing, which is going great. So I've eliminated another. Like now I've got Palou's data.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
exactly what he's doing, right? So
To be fair, he's making it hard for anyone else
everybody.
to
I
win
know.
races.
I know, but you could also frame it up as we got that and we haven't won.
Yeah.
You could also look at the other way, right? So that's how
Which is the driver
that
in
is-
you.
Yeah. So, but no, listen, I'm super happy with what we have right now, and getting that next, it's so difficult. Felix almost had it at Road America this year. And I think the last couple races here, we'll be in a position to have it too, maybe. But our number one goal is to get them as close to the top 5 in the championship. We're 6th and 7th as we sit here today. And that would be a huge uptick. In 2023, we had no speed, no results, no nothing. 24 was better, 25 better again, so we're on that ladder deal.
The upward trajectory.
Trying
Well,
to.
look, I know my next core memory of you is going to be celebrating that second IndyCar win, so I
Cheers.
can't wait to see
Thank
it.
you.
Here's to some Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Another
man.
win.
Yep.